Nelson Mandela, the man who defied injustice. Nelson Mandela's life is a powerful example of resilience, justice, and the triumph of the human spirit. Born on July 18, 1918, in the village of Mvizo, South Africa, Mandela grew up in a society deeply divided by race. From a young age, he witnessed the injustices of apartheid, a brutal system of racial segregation that oppressed Black South Africans, denying them basic human rights and freedoms. Despite the challenges, Mandela pursued an education, which was rare for Black South Africans at the time. After attending local missionary schools, he enrolled at the University of Fort Hare, the only institution in South Africa offering higher education to Black students. It was here that Mandela's desire for freedom and equality deepened, as he became involved in student activism. His journey toward justice had begun. After moving to Johannesburg, Mandela joined the African National Congress, ANC, in 1943, becoming an active member in the fight against apartheid. He quickly rose through the ranks, co-founding the ANC Youth League and helping to organize peaceful protests and campaigns against apartheid laws. However, as the government responded with violence, Mandela and his fellow activists realized that peaceful resistance alone might not be enough. In 1961, Mandela made the difficult decision to co-found Umkhonto we Sizwe, the armed wing of the ANC, which aimed to sabotage government installations to fight back against apartheid. Mandela believed it was necessary to fight for his people's freedom. However, the government labeled him a terrorist, and in 1962, Mandela was arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment. For 27 years, Mandela was imprisoned under harsh conditions, mostly on Robben Island, where he was confined to a small cell and forced to perform hard labor. Despite the physical and emotional toll, Mandela remained resilient. He continued to fight for justice, becoming a symbol of hope and resistance both in South Africa and around the world. From behind bars, Mandela's words and actions inspired millions to continue the fight against apartheid. In 1990, after intense international pressure and internal unrest, the South African government released Mandela. Instead of seeking revenge, Mandela chose the path of forgiveness, believing that only unity could heal a divided nation. He began negotiations with the apartheid government to dismantle the racist system and build a democratic South Africa. In 1994, Mandela achieved what many thought was impossible. He was elected as South Africa's first Black president in the country's first multiracial elections. His leadership during this transition period was defined by a commitment to forgiveness, healing, and rebuilding. Mandela established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, allowing victims and perpetrators of apartheid-era violence to come forward, speak their truth, and seek forgiveness. Through this process, Mandela helped to unify a nation that had been torn apart by decades of racial division. Mandela's presidency marked a new era for South Africa, but his influence reached far beyond his country's borders. He became a global symbol of courage, peace, and resilience, showing the world that change is possible when you stand up for what is right. Even after stepping down as president in 1999, Mandela continued to work for peace and social justice. Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013, but his legacy continues to inspire millions. His story teaches us that no matter how difficult the journey, we must remain steadfast in our fight for justice and equality. Mandela's life shows us that true leadership is about forgiveness, resilience, and the unwavering belief that one person can make a difference.